It's a Monday. We're in the wood shop today. Hoping to handle some projects that he's working on for me. So we are making some shelving units. And right now I am sanding these boards through the drum sander. I got the other side of this one done. We're trying to clean this up. We got some scuff marks. It's just a little uneven. So we are sanding these boards down to get them nice and smooth. I just flipped the board and trying to get the sander just the right spot. So we're not doing anything on this pass really. So I'm working on this for a little bit. I got one board done. I got another one to do that I'm working on. We've got our dust collector set up, so that's capturing all the dust out of here. I don't know where Dad went, but he's working on shelving units. So we're making basically these uprights with some notches in them. And then over here he's got some rails that are going to go across there. We'll take a piece of plywood or something, set it on top, make some storage shelving units. They're for my basement. That's what they're for. So I can get all the crap off my floor and organize it a little bit and start getting stuff from when we moved in February put away. I was planning on working on the combine today. We're still going to do that probably this afternoon, but I spent a little time in the wood shop here this morning. That's all right. All right, it's lunchtime. I'm supposed to be getting my hair cut in 5 minutes. I forgot. So we're going to be a little late, but we got to go do that. Apparently, I don't know. I don't really think I needed one, but apparently I do. Anyway, when we come back, we're going to work in the shop on the combine stuff this afternoon. Might start tearing that corn head apart. I wasn't expecting the woodworking project this morning, but that's okay. It needs to get done. Stuff I've been thinking about for a while. And Dad's working on stuff for me that, you know, I should help him with. So I appreciate that. He's been spending a lot of time playing boards, and when it's too wet to go out to the fence rows and cut the trees down, he's processing the trees, I guess. The lumber, the wood, whatever you want to call it at this point. So anyway, I'll check in with you guys in a little bit. I'm back. Let's find something to do on this combine here. Yeah, I'm gonna see about cleaning inside a little bit, see if that stuff where we drained some of the water out, drilled holes last week, is dried up. We can pick some of that out. I think we're ready to put the sieve and chaffer back in, but that's a two-man job, so I'm not gonna do that by myself. Brock's coming on Wednesday, I believe, so hopefully he can help me with that. I think what we're gonna do is lift the corn head up and start working on getting row units adjusted, and I'm probably gonna take one apart, see what it looks like, decide whether I need to take them all apart or just adjust them and clean them as best we can. So that's the plan for the afternoon here. Yeah, see that stuff? It's drying out, but now we can pick that stuff out of there a little bit better. So I'm gonna work on that. There's some more down here, and we'll get that stuff cleaned out, and then we'll be ready for everything to go back together on the inside here. All right, well, I got a bunch of crap there to clean up now. I got most of it, especially on this side, really good. That side is really hard to reach, especially those bottom ones. I got the uppers up there pretty good, but there's not a good way to get in here. I'm going to have to use some more water with the hose in here, I think, and get that stuff washed down and cleaned up. So we'll get that, but before we use any water, I found a spot the other day that I need to crawl under the combine and get, and I don't want to get all wet doing it, so we're going to do it before we get it wet. All right, so we are under the combine here. Clearly hasn't been cleaned quite as well. Right underneath the cleaning fan is where we sit. There's the clean grain auger. Sorry, I'm turning you upside down there for a second. But this is the transmission. We need to pick some of this stuff off. There's some... Where are you looking? Where are you? There we are. Some stuff right here that I can pick out of there by hand. But you want to know where the bad spot is that I just can't get with a hose or power washer? Look at that. Oh my goodness, I saw that wheat growing there the other day and I thought, oh, this is bad. We gotta get that. So that is what we are gonna do here. Watch this. I bet it all comes out in just about in one chunk there. Oh, I flipped the go. Okay, not one chunk, but why they would put a ledge there, I don't understand. At least the roots keep it all together, so I know I'm getting it all. I mean, that's fairly clean. It's kind of what happens on these combines is, you know, obviously that's wheat, a few soybeans in there. This stuff gets everywhere when you're combining, especially wheat because it's such small kernels. There's not much you can do about it. And then it was dry all fall, so this stuff never started to grow, never sprouted, never got wet. And then we start washing on it, and you bring it in the warm shop, and it all grows. And, yeah, you end up with that. All right, so I'm working under here, right? And keep in mind, we are underneath the transmission, under the feeder house. There's no good way to get up into these spots, especially with the power washer or with any water, because, like, if I sprayed this now, I'm laying under it. I'm going to get filthy, right? But for those of you who are familiar with John Deere's Harvester Works, and if you've ever taken a tour there out in Moline, Illinois, you'll know that they're very, very proud of their paint booth system. And they actually have these giant dunk tanks where they take these whole combine frames, basically, and they dip them into a vat of paint, and they come out painted, right? There's actually several vats. They lift them and dip them and pull them out and stuff. Well, it's a pretty good system. However, what they don't tell you is that they get air bubbles and pockets that don't get painted. See those rough spots up there? Well, that's the bottom of the rotor frame, the kind of behind the feed accelerator feeding into the bottom of the rotor. And yeah, well, those spots have air bubbles in them when they dip them, and so they don't get any paint on them. That's what they don't tell you. I bet there's not too many people that know those spots are there. That's why there's no paint on them. But every combine I've had in the last 3 combines anyway, have had those exact same spots. All right. Well, after picking all that out, more dirt than there's supposed to be on this combine at the point we're at in cleaning process, but we're getting closer. I think I'm going to lift the head up, and we'll start working on some gathering chains here. All right, we got the corn head up here, and we're going to do this one at a time a little bit. So I got this first one taken apart, and these are the components that I've taken it off. There's not a lot here right now. We could take these 2 bolts off, take this the snout support. These are what support the snouts when they come down off. It also holds our sprocket and this arm that's supposed to slide in there, which, I mean, it does. And so I'm using the air and trying to clean that up a little bit, get any dirt that's in there out. Our deck plates have definitely got some wear. You can see that edge right there. Is that bad? I don't know. I don't think it's horrible. It's probably not great. The guides here, I think, are in pretty good shape. And, yeah, it's just a matter of how far we want to go taking stuff apart and cleaning it up. 2 years ago, we completely tore this thing apart, took all of that off, deck plates off, painted it, started over fresh from new from that standpoint. I put all new components on, these Romex gathering chain kits, in it would have been winter of 18-19, so before the 2019 crop, which was the year we had hardly any corn. So that was when we put new snapping rolls on, our 360 snapping rolls that are still in really good shape. We had put new gathering chains on then, and the sprockets, the guides, front sprockets, those were all new then. So that would have been 19, 20, 21, 22, 4 years use on these. honestly, it's probably time to change these chains, but it doesn't seem too big. Yeah, there's a little side-to-side wobble. I don't know. These bolts, I noticed, this is the tensioning bolt, goes in here. It's got some rust and some wear on it there, where it sits inside this. So this goes in there, threads in there, and yeah, it's wearing. You know, the spring and spacer, the spacer's got some corrosion and dirty and whatever. It is what it is. What I'm thinking I'm going to do is put this stuff all back together. We're going to run it another year, and then next year we're going to have to do another total rebuild on here. Probably not snapping rolls, but gathering chains, tear it all apart, paint it up nice, make it look good kind of thing. So that, or it's about time to start thinking about trading corn heads. But we're not in that market. There's really, I mean, this corn head works just fine. We just got to take care of it and do some maintenance. So we're gonna get it all cleaned up and adjusted here. I'm gonna take it about this far apart. I may not pull the chain off on the rest of them because I just took that off to see how sloppy it was. But I'm gonna pull these bolts apart and these springs, clean up in there. All of that dirt there came out of that spring. And so I want to clean it up, and I want to free up these so that they slide good, because that's how it tensions the spring. I'll explain how this works as I put it back together here. All right, so I got the chain back in. We want our guide, or our lugs, not the guides, staggered one row to the next. There's actually some marks on there that if you're putting them both on fresh, that kind of help light them up, but we just want them staggered. So, and then we take our front sprocket and we push it forward to get a little bit of tension on there. And then we've got to reassemble this. So we've got washer on the bolt. I'm going to put the spring back on here. We'll put the spacer on. And then this goes right here. And we've got to get a nut started on there. That nut. Kind of like so. Now we're going to take our impact. And before somebody yells at me for not using Never Sees, yeah, I know. Well, see, I got to hold this with a wrench. Like I said, I take these apart every year. I've never had trouble with them not coming apart. So I'm not that concerned about the Never Sees. Yeah, it'll be okay. So I got that one started, and I got to hold that a little bit more, but we got to get it started into this. There's a square nut that sits in there, and once we get it started into there, then we can let this one back off. And that'll let the spring push on this to push tension on it. And then we tighten that bolt down until there's just a little bit on the spacer. Usually I do like a spring or a spring and a half, something like that. I think technically it's, I don't know, is it 3/16 of an inch? It's probably a metric measurement, like, I don't know, 4 millimeters, 2 millimeters. I don't know what it is. 3/16 of an inch is what they say. It's a spring and a half, because you don't want that to be super tight. You want it to have some give, because if this chain gets caught or something, it needs to be able to spring. See how when I pull that, it changes that gap there? That's the tensioning portion of that. But as this chain stretches, that will keep pushing on this, which pushes the sprocket and keeps it tight and under the proper tension. So we need to jam this nut against there to keep that bolt where it's supposed to be and keep it tight. So now this one is back together and properly adjusted. And you can see on this other one that I have not taken apart yet how much, see that that spacer's tight because of all the dirt in there, but look how much more of a gap we've got there compared to here. That's how much that chain has stretched in 1 year since last year when we tightened it up. So that's why we at minimum have to get them adjusted, cleaned up a little bit so everything moves freely. So one down, one half of one row, 17 to go, right? 17, 8, no, 16, 15 to go. Geez, math, come on now. 15 to go. This is the advantage of having an 8-row head instead of a 12-row head. I have less rows to do maintenance on. Doesn't take that much. I've got 4 rows done, cleaned up and adjusted. That means I'm halfway done. And I am really, really crappy at repetitive work. And I don't want to do the other half right now. So I'm going to not do it right now. We might do it tomorrow. I don't know. I'm not going to do it now. I don't feel like it. Even though that really didn't take me that long. I mean, this isn't bad. If you're tearing it all apart, it takes 2 or 3 days. Especially if you're painting stuff. When you're just taking it apart and cleaning it up and putting it right back together. I mean, I would have this done in an hour and a half, 2 hours, if I would just finish it, but I don't feel like it. And I don't know if you guys know this or not, but I'm a grain farmer, crop farmer. That means I don't have anything to do all winter, so I don't have to do it right now. I'll take my time. Okay, so that last part's not true. I have plenty to do. I just don't like doing the same thing consecutively a long time in a row. Does that make sense? Like sitting in the combine all day. It's different, okay? It's just different. So I'm gonna go back and work on my wood project here for a little while this afternoon. And it's almost 3:30, so then I'm gonna go home and we'll come back tomorrow and we'll do the same thing. And we'll work on my woodworking project some more, and maybe we'll put some shields back on the combine and we'll do some more stuff. I'm not always efficient because I jump from job to job. But I don't have to be right now. It's okay. Let's keep it interesting. All right, well, I did part of it good, part of it not so good on my shelf that I'm building here. But it'll work. We got another one to do. And on the stand, Dad's working on here, and he's doing a nice job. He's got, yeah, he knows how this all goes together, but we've got all these kind of rails. He's got the ends is all notched and cleaned up good. He went through with the sander and cleaned them up, routed the edges off so they're nice and round and smooth. And that is good. So I don't know if he's ready to assemble that or not, but he's got, essentially he's building some shelves. I think they're similar to what he's got over here. Yeah, I mean that, except for cleaned up a little bit more, right? Yeah, but something that's got a shelf, 2 foot, 4 foot, 6 foot type of thing so that we can stack storage stuff in our basement. That's what we're building. But I'm guessing that one's the original. This is the next version. Now we're moved on. Actually, he's probably got 3 or 4 more of those around here somewhere. Get a little more refined every time, a little bit nicer, a little bit better. So I believe this is, I don't know if it's bur oak or red oak or white oak or what, but we're gonna stain it, make it look kind of like our floor does. So yeah, fun stuff to get away from the shop work for a little bit, but I just glued that up and we got to let it dry. So that's it in here for tonight. So thanks for watching today. We'll finish this corn head up tomorrow. We'll see what else we feel like doing on the combine. I don't know if I have anything else different. Oh, I got a seed truck coming tomorrow afternoon, 2:30ish, and see how my shelves are and all that stuff is coming. We'll keep working on that. Thanks for watching today. Happy Monday. Tuesday for most of you, and have a great night. See you tomorrow. Better plug in my forklift so we can get a truck unloaded tomorrow. Oh yeah, that project. Maybe I should start on that project.